Season 2, Episode 4 Home Sweet Home? The Clifton home was getting older and needed a lot of maintenance, which was proving to be a costly undertaking. Though I was very attached to the home, I was also eager to move to a newer residence, following in my uncle's footsteps, possibly to an active adult community with amenities such as an indoor swimming pool. Thus started another search for a buyer and a seller. Trips to open houses, and countless hours figuring out financing. We couldn't buy without selling. The timing had to be just right. That's where my son-in-law and uncle came to our assistance with funding support, for which we remain eternally grateful. In fact, on the day I had to meet my uncle at his bank to collect the funds, he collapsed and had a fainting episode. We had to rush him to the hospital. By the grace of God, he recovered, but he has had similar fainting episodes since then, which is cause for concern. We settled on a ranch-style home in a 55-plus community in Stonebridge, Monroe Township. This was going to be a monumental change for me, from urban living to a suburban, somewhat rural environment. The neighborhoods, roads, everything felt different. It felt so quiet everywhere, an eerie kind of silence. I miss the hustle and bustle of Clifton. Little did I know how difficult the next few months were going to be. I became very anxious and just couldn't settle down. It was clear that I was homesick and desperately wanted to go back to my familiar surroundings. On a more practical note, the commute or drive to work was taking me well over an hour each way, which was proving to be very taxing and stressful. I started isolating myself and wasn't able to make new social contacts. I was really suffering, both personally and professionally. My mental health deteriorated, and after consulting my doctor, I decided to apply for special accommodation at work, requesting a remote work arrangement. Thankfully, my request was approved, though it came with a pay cut. The remote work option at least meant that I didn't have to worry about the long commute and could focus on getting used to my new surroundings. In retrospect, maybe I shouldn't have moved while I was still working in North Jersey. Maybe the move to a 55-plus community was premature for me. I wasn't able to enjoy the community or any of its amenities. My protests and despondency were met with firm resistance by my wife, who had to stay firm and resolute during this time of crisis. Moving back to North Jersey wasn't the solution. We would incur financial loss and mental anguish. I had to accept the reality that we had moved and start embracing our new home. With the help of medication, therapy, friends, and family, I slowly started accepting my new surroundings, though the underlying urge to move still remained. The first winter in Monroe was very depressing, but with spring in the air and pickleball beckoning, hopes were revived of a resurgent year ahead. Stay tuned to find out what was in store for us. Yours truly, TNT.